to my autumn inspired makeup tutorial, or fall, depending if you're in America, you know, but you guys are going into summer, so it's autumn down here. I've used lots of burgundies, oranges, deep browns to tie in with the autumn theme, and then like a nudie brown lip. I hope you guys enjoy this look. It's a gorgeous daytime glam look, so it's perfect for daytime if you're game enough. And if you're like me, I love wearing these kinds of looks in the daytime. If you're more of like a natural makeup look person, like you don't like wearing too much colour and stuff during the day. Sorry, I've got something caught on my ear piercing. Then by all means you don't have to wear this look, but if you want to see how I got it, then please stay watching. I love you guys heaps, and I'll see you soon. Mwah! Bye! Hey guys, so I'm first going to go in and prime my skin so that helps my makeup last all day and it doesn't go creasy or cakey or build up in any of the dry patches or things like that. So I've already just exfoliated and moisturized my face so it's nice and smooth, hydrated, and also hasn't got any leftover dead skin or anything left on my face that the makeup might hold on to later on. So I'm going to go in with my Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer Moisturizer. It's a primer as well as a moisturizer. It does contain glycerin, which is what you want in a primer because it helps your makeup stick. And it's also going to help moisturize my skin because it is autumn / like going into winter kind of thing. We want our skin to be nice and moisturized because it's going to be really cold and windy outside, which tends to make your skin a lot drier. I also just brought it down my neck slightly because I do put makeup just slightly down my neck so that it helps tie in with my skin tone. You don't get that sexy demarcation going on there. So, next I'm going in with my EX1 Invisiwear Foundation in F200 and also going in with this BB cream in the shade Light. I'm just mixing them together to create the perfect colour for my skin tone because the F200 is a little dark for me. You know what? While I'm just thinking about it, I'm gonna put a headband on. My trusty tiara shall do the trick. Now I'm a little princess as well. I just pounce it all over my skin. I'm going for more of like a medium coverage, nothing full because it is a more daytime look. I want it to be still like daytime wearable. I just feel medium is perfect for what I'm thinking anyways. But if you guys prefer sheer coverage or full coverage, like you guys do that. You do you. You know what I realized in one of my videos previously? When I was doing my foundation routine, I left my eyes and my nose like blank for like a while I was filling in the rest of my face. And it literally looked like a dick of balls. Like, this was the dick and these were the balls. I was laughing so much at myself. If I don't know if any of you realised that, but I did. Oh, it's so funny. I'm just going to go in with a lip conditioner. You guys can use a lip balm, a chapstick, like basically the same thing. But I just go in with like a lip conditioner because it helps moisturise. It's like trying to talk like this. It helps moisturize my lips just while I'm doing the rest of my foundation, like basically doing the rest of my makeup, so when I get to my lips, they're nice and moisturized and they're not chapped or dry and cracked and sore. So always carry around a nice little drink bottle that you can drink from as you're doing your makeup as well, because hydrating your body will help get rid of under eye circles and also help moisturize your lips and your skin, making you look more younger, more plump, and just more awake and fresh. So I always carry around a drink bottle with me whenever I'm doing my makeup and just throughout the day to keep my skin and myself hydrated, because water is your best friend. Get to know it, get to love it. But you always want to just keep yourself hydrated throughout the day because water is like so important. It just flushes out all those toxins and things from our body that we don't want floating around in there. Oh, and this is just my Instant Age Rewind concealer in medium moin. I'm just running that over my eyeball areas and underneath my eyes. I just apply a little bit of concealer, just whatever's necessary. I don't go overboard because, like I said, it's a daytime look and I'm not really going to highlight the face like with that. I'll use my Laura Mercier powder. So like I said, just grabbing my Laura Mercier powder and I'm just going to basically press that into my face and just set that concealer in place, and also just dust it over my face as well to set my foundation and everything onto my face. And I'm just like not baking with it, I'm actually just pressing that product into my under eye area, like into my skin, to set that concealer in place. And also it helps prevent me from getting oily and things throughout the day. Like, it is winter, so I won't be as oily as I am in summer. And I also press it over my like heavily pored pore areas, like over the pore areas, like where I have quite large pores, and it helps blur those out and just conceal them up, so it just kind of fills them in, so it makes me look like I have more flawless looking skin without having to go with a heavy foundation or powder or anything like that. And then, like I said, I just dust it over my forehead, like, well, just my face really. Like, I dust it over my face to help set the rest of that foundation in place so it doesn't transfer or move or crease or anything like that throughout the day. I hope my camera isn't going because the microphone in it's a bit so I'm going to go take it to get fixed, but then I'm not going to have a camera to film with. I'll have to use my mum's camera or something to film. That's okay though. That's okay. So I'm just going to do my brows really quickly. I'll be right back. I'm back. So I've done my brows. Now you may be thinking, yeah, those are some hella dark brows. But I like me some dark brows. You guys can do your brows however you want. And guys, today I didn't carve them out. I know. Like, let's take a moment. I just filled them in, didn't carve them out. I was like, yeah, baby. Yes. Okay, so like we're going to move on to the eyes before we do the rest of the face. So I'm just going to zoom you in really quick. So now that you guys are up close and personal, I'm going to go and do my eyes. So I've already primed with the concealer and obviously set it in place with the Laura Mercier powder. So I'm going to grab my 350 Morphe palette, and I'm grabbing this soft brown shade from the palette as my transition color and just whacking that baby in the crease with a fluffy blender brush. It's just a couple shades darker than my natural skin tone, so it's good for a transition color because you only want something just a couple shades darker because it's going to help blend into your skin a lot more neater and more smoother. I'm just using a very light hand and just blending that through. So I'm holding the bottom of the brush to help apply less pressure, and I'll be doing this technique a lot through the video to help blend through. Next, I'm taking this light orangey brown shade from the Morphe palette and I'm applying that in the crease. And we're just adding a bit of warmth into our lives with this gorgeous like orange shade, because those winter and autumn days can be quite cold, so it's always nice to have a bit of warmth in the lid. Next, I'm going in with this orangey eyeshadow, mixing it in with this warm brown tone eyeshadow and placing that in the crease of the more petite eyeshadow brush. So I first went in with some of that orange shade, and then I'm going in again and placing a bit of that brown in with that orange, and I'm slowly, with a little bit of product at a time, going to add a bit more brown into the mix. So I start off with orange, because it's going to blend easily into that softer orange that we placed down before. But as I blend through those colours, I'm going to add a little bit more of that brown and a little bit less of that orange, so it just kind of helps transition that brown into the crease a lot easier. And I'm still trying to keep with that more elongated eye look, so I'm just placing most of the product in the outer corner and blending whatever's on the brush towards the inner corner. Then go back in with that very first fluffy brush from the beginning and some of that light orange shade that we used before, and place that just above what we placed down before and blend that through to help diffuse that line. I always like to use, like, tilt the brush to the side and use the side bristles. I just feel like it blends the product in a lot better because all the product will be on the tip of the brush, but if you want it to blend a bit better, I always use the side bristles. And I feel like that helps blend out the product a lot better without it adding more product to the eye. Then I go back in with that very first transition shade and place that just above the orange. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to move on to a more deeper, like purpley red shade. So I'm going to move on to my 35W palette by Morphe, and this gorgeous like reddish, purpley, burgundy kind of colour. And I'm placing that all over my eyelid. And don't worry if you had like any of that brown on the eyelid, just place any of that purple over that brown all the way up to just under your natural crease. So covering that whole lid area. It's more of a purpley colour than a burgundy colour, so I'll add a more reddy shade on top. I think I do like that colour, but I do want it to be more of a reddy burgundy shade. So I'm going to go back to my 350 palette and grab that gorgeous, like shimmery, browny red shade and place that all over the purple as well. Yes. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful and exactly what I want. That deep purple just helps make that red more deep and plummy. Oh yeah, work that onto the lid. Yeah. Do you just see the difference, like the colour change makes? Oh, so pretty. Then grab that petite crease brush and some of that orange and brown shade that we used before and just blend that burgundy, reddy shade out. And I just like to grab that really fluffy brush again and no product added this time, just blend out the edges. Once we've got our desired effects of the burgundy blending into the browns and oranges, I'm going to go and add like a goldy, yellowy kind of inner corner. So I'm grabbing my Sugar Peel Burning Hearts palette and I'm grabbing the Buttercup Cake shade from the palette, the yellow eyeshadow, and I'm just placing that on my inner corner and kind of like blending it into the purple, the plum shade ever so slightly. And to create, like I said, like a more of like a goldy yellow, I'm going to add some of that gold from my Caramel Melange palette. I'm going in with Almost Burnt, this gorgeous like light gold shade, and I'm going over the top of that yellow with the shade. Then I just go in with that flat shader brush from before and blend some of that burgundy colour in again. And I use my pencil brush. And I just kind of switch between the two to kind of help those colours blend into one another, so it's not just like purple gold kind of thing. Now we have our inner corners. I'm going to go and tight line with a black eye kohl, and I'm also going to place that in my waterline as well. Then I'm going to go in and do my mascara. I'm going in with this Mega Plush Volume Mascara from Maybelline and just coating my lashes nice and thick, prepping them for the falsies that we're going in afterwards with. So this is what it looks like with the lashes. I love these lashes with this autumny like makeup look. So I'm going to go ahead and go onto my bottom lash line now. So we're going to basically repeat some of the steps that we did before to create that gorgeous like smoky bottom lash line. So I'm taking that petite crease brush that we used before, just wipe it off so it's nice and clean again. And I'm going in with that first soft brown shade that we used at the very beginning as a transition colour. Next I'm grabbing those two shades that I used before, the orange and the brown shade, and I'm placing that with a pencil brush nice and tightly against my lash line, focusing most of the product on the outer corner and blending whatever's left towards the inner corner. And I'm keeping a light hand and just applying a little bit at a time. So I'm making sure to connect it up to the eyeshadow up on our lid so it's a nice connected eye. So next I'm grabbing those two shades, the red shade and that plummy purple shade, and I'm placing that underneath my lash line with a pencil brush. And if I feel like the line's too harsh, I'll just blend it out with that very first blender brush. And then add some bottom lash mascara. Now for contouring and highlighting, because it is an autumny fall look, you want to be a bit more structured and contoured and also a bit more bronzed up because it is cold. We're not going to be out in the sun as much, so we do lose a bit of colour in our skin. And I also like to be a bit more structured in autumn because it is darker outside, so you want a bit more attention to the cheekbones, so you try and give it a bit more lift and just a bit more shadow underneath. There isn't as much light, so you can go a bit more heavy-handed on the contour, but I just mean a little bit more. So I'm going in with my NYX contour kit and grabbing the tan shade from the kit, and I'm just going to start bronzing out my skin in all the usual places. I just add some translucent powder underneath my bronzing slightly if I've gone down too far, like I brought it down too far. It's just a little trick I like to do, so I grab my beauty sponge and some translucent powder and just wipe it underneath that bronzer, and it just cleans it up a little bit. So I'm just adding bronzer to my cheekbones, forehead, and under the jawline and neck just to bronze up the body as well. It's not just all focused on the face, but it's like all rounder. I also like to hit my nose a little bit as well, just to bronze it up a little bit so it's like a sun-kissed kind of glow on the nose. Then I just go in with my beauty blender and diffuse any harsh edges or anything like that and help the product to melt into my skin a little bit. Next I'm going in with the shade Sculpt and just using a fan brush and just doing a soft contour to the cheeks. Nothing too intense, just giving a bit of shadow on top of that bronzer to give it a bit of lift to the face. I focus most of the product towards my hairline and just kind of feather it across towards the corner of my mouth. So most of the product's focused in this area. And I also go in with a Real Techniques just eyeshadow brush and some of that contour powder and just start sculpting out my nose, just to give a bit of dimension back to the face. Then I go in with this gorgeous like subtle glow to the cheeks, so it's more of a champagne-y, peachy undertone. I'm just going to place that on all the high points of my face for a bit of a glow. For blush, I want something very warm, especially because it is winter. You want to warm up the skin and warm up the face. So I'm going to go in with this warm, peachy, bronzy shade. It's not too bronzy, it's got more of a subtle peach and very subtle bronzy to it, but it's got a bit of shimmer, gold flecks of shimmer in it. I'm just going to place that on the cheeks, so the contours of the cheeks. I always like to bring it up the side of my temple just a little bit to add a bit of colour there, because I don't want it to be like a strip. I want it to kind of fade into the skin a little bit, so I'll just dab it on the cheeks slightly and just dab it on the temples a little bit too. Then again, I'll grab my beauty blender and just pounce it on my skin, just helping that product to melt evenly into the skin. Finally, I'm going to go in for a more intense highlight. You guys can skip this step and just leave out that more natural highlight from the NYX contour kit. So I'm going in with Mary Lou from the Balm and just placing that on all the high points of my face. I'm just adding a little bit to these areas because I want the whole look to be tied in together with the highlight here. And Mary Lou is also like a champagne-y kind of gold undertone highlight. So I like to use it because it kind of meshes with this autumn theme going on here. So I'm going to mix two lipsticks today because I don't have the shade that I want. I want more of like a brown nude colour. So I'm going to mix Clear Message from Zoeva, the liquid lipstick, and I'm also going to mix this like browny red kind of lipstick, and I'm going to place these two together. And voila! These are the lips. I actually really like this colour, like those two together, because it's like subtle and it's perfect daytime glam, like perfect daytime glam. Okay, let's go into the setting spray. To set my makeup in place, I'm going in with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray and just basically dousing myself in that to set my makeup in place all day. And this is the finished makeup look, guys.